quarterly county committee meeting. So we're going to do one every 3 months, which means that we'll be conducting official business. If you are not a member of the county committee, you're considered a guest and are here to observe only. If you are a guest and you're over here, please move over to the side there. Because we will be conducting business, guests are required to sit separately from the voting body, which I just stated. If you're a guest, I ask that you please stay quiet during business. For members of the county committee, if you wish to speak, please bring forth your proper motion addressing the chairman, and then I'll recognize you. And then, again, this should be an orderly meeting, so please don't talk over each other. Let's just maintain proper decorum. All right. I'm just going to give a quick state of the county update while we wait on credentialing. So if it's okay, I'm going to read it. I would like to give an update on the state of the county to start. Our former vice chairman and state committee man were removed by a vote of the county committee on June 13th. Tom Stearman, who is up here with me, was nominated and approved as the new vice chairman on June 19th. Carla was just approved by the county committee as the new state, Carla Severin was just approved by the county committee as the new state committee member. For anyone who has questions on the matter, I'd ask that you contact your precinct chair or vice chair. Myself or Tom Stearman can also help answer any questions, but I ask that you first start with your precinct chair and vice chair. So as we look forward to the future, I want to highlight a couple of items. First, we are committed to following the rules, the OKGOP rules and Robert's Rules of Order, as we are a party of law and order. I know some of you find that funny. But in August, we plan to have brigade training. The idea behind brigades is that we will have groups of Republican voters who will attend city, county, and state committee meetings or state meetings to help keep a pulse on what our representatives are doing within our community and state. In September, we'll have a precinct training where you can learn how to conduct precinct meetings, write resolutions, and voice your concerns and the concerns of your precinct. In October, we will have a quarterly county committee meeting again. We're also targeting September or October for a fun community event. There'll be more information to follow for that. We also need to start building up to the 2024 elections, where our goal is to have accurate and secure elections and to help voters with the information they need to vote with confidence. As we build up to elections, we will need people to volunteer their time, skills, and resources. And lastly, like our republic, which is supposed to be a bottom-up government where power originates with the individual, we too are a bottom-up party where power originates with you, the voter, who is represented by your precinct chair and vice chairman on the county committee. OKGOP Rule 6B1 states that the county committee of each county is the supreme Republican Party authority of the county. Because you, the county committee members, are the supreme authority of the party, or of the county and the party, I answer to you. I'm committed to continuing these quarterly county committee meetings where official business can be conducted. So if you want something presented before the county committee, I would suggest that you write a resolution, have it submitted to your precinct chair or vice chair, and then we can vote on your resolution at these meetings. So if you're a precinct chair or vice chair, would you please stand? First, I want to thank you very much for volunteering. I really appreciate the time that you commit to serving the party and really your country and community. If you're a guest and a registered Republican in Washington County, these are the people you should get to know, as they are your representatives on the county committee. Thank you very much. You may be seated. We have a new website, wcgopok.com, which has a list of precinct officers and the precinct number. You can email info@wcgopok.com or send an inquiry through the website to get your precinct chair and vice chair's contact information. To further the point that we are a bottom-up party in government, I would like to read sections 3B, 5, and 6 from the OKGOP platform. 3B5 reads, "We believe in the concept of nullification as a legitimate tool for adjudicating disputes between the states and the federal government when the federal government enacts a law clearly not in pursuance of the Constitution and powers delegated in Article 1, Section 8. Section 3B6 of the party platform states, We believe in the 10th Amendment and provides the powers not delegated to the United States by the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And we oppose any attempts by the federal government to intrude on states' rights. So I'll close with this. Bottom-up government is sometimes a difficult concept for people to understand because we live in a day where we've been taught an inverted hierarchy where the federal government sits on top of the states and the individual. This is incorrect, however. We have to flip the pyramid upside down because the proper hierarchy of power is that God created man, man created society, and society created government. So here's a quick little, I don't know, probably can't see it now, but it shows the Republican voters, the precincts, county, state committees, state chairman, state vice chairman, etc. And the same can be said for our federal government. We're not at that point yet, so.
Can you slow down just a little so that I can understand what you're saying? Because you've been going
I'm almost finished. I apologize if
But
I've
I
spoken
just
too
would like
fast.
to know what you said. So
Okay.
if you could just slow down.
I think we're live streaming.
I'm sorry. So as you move down the hierarchy, you have less power. Again, power starts with God and is given to us as individuals. And then we loan that power to those who represent us. So as you move, as I stated earlier, the beautiful thing about our party is that we are modeled after our great republic, where the power originates with you, the voter. This is a concept I will continue to drive throughout my chairmanship. So with that, I want to welcome you to our meeting tonight and thank each and every one of you for being an active participant in our party. All right. All right, we have 37 members present, therefore we have a quorum. And this meeting is called to order. All right, so the first item of business is to approve the previous minutes for the April County Committee meeting, which were distributed via email. Okay, if there are no corrections to the minutes are approved as distributed. Next we have, may we have the treasurer's report? Our treasurer Josh Locke is now recognized.
Hello. So on April 10th, I had started to provide an initial treasurer report, and that was tabled for time constraints. In summary, the gist of what I wanted to communicate on the 10th, and then tonight, just because I also want to get into also just the spending that's occurred since then. But the gist of my initial assessment of the financials was just that we drew our accounts down rapidly in the close of the last leadership, and this was just concerning me as a new treasurer coming in, trying to understand why we spent so much money in closing months of the previous leadership. As recently as 2/23, the WCGOP had $10,347 in its account, and by the time new leadership took over,
can be reversed only by a majority. So we were sued fraudulently, and I'm going to use that word because the rules were not followed appropriately, and Julie didn't like the outcome. That's the bottom line.
So, okay, so we're going for and against. Do we have, so that was a for?
I'm for, even though I've repaid my part.
So hold on. We're gonna go to someone who's against.
Yeah, that's definitely good. You go next.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have questions to ask Earl though, so I really wanted to do a point of inquiry because he was out of line.
Well, just hold on, and we'll come to you next.
H does outline that there shall be a hearing. Rule 20C, I believe it is, matters not covered by the rules, you would revert back to Robert's Rules of Order. Our rules do not provide for the process of a hearing, so you would revert back to 63 in Robert's Rules.
Okay, you're recognized.
Is it okay if I do this as a couple of questions?
No, to the chair.
Yeah, I guess.
To the chair,
To the
sir. Okay, this is Lachelle Griffith, precinct 32, and I have some questions. Did you reach out and ask several county committee members who they would like to have for the election board?
Yes, I did reach out to some.
When you guys met that night and you didn't agree, did you make an executive decision per the rules?
I applied Robert's Rules of Order 4316, or 13.
Larry, may
I'm
I?
sorry, 4413, which no one has been able to tell me yet how you break a tie. And it was not I did not vote twice. It was breaking a tie, applying the rules as stated. There's a couple of references where in Robert's Rules of Order where it says how to break a tie. That was one of them.
Well, the problem is we haven't had a hearing, and I haven't been able to get certain information, but I've asked this question. That night, did anyone give you their vote, and did you make a decision at that time?
Can you restate the question for me, please?
Did anyone text you relieving themselves of their ability to vote?
During the vote, the vice chairman made yielded her vote to the chairman, and it was followed up in a text.
Right, and it was followed up, and that's when you ruled, correct?
Yes.
Then it came back and it was appealed, which 4413 is an appeal to the chair.
I offered an appeal to the three other members.
Yep.
Yes,
Yes.
on the primary vote.
Which no one's been able to hear that because people refuse to show up to their hearings. Is that correct? I say let's move forward with a vote.
Is that a motion to move forward with it?
That's a motion to move forward with a vote.
Yes, sir.
Trying to run a good meeting, and I applaud you for that. But you have a motion on the floor, and it's for today.
You've got to
Take
come
these
up here and
questions,
speak because I can't
Your
hear.
good point.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry. I'm deaf.
Is this a debate?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is,
Mr. Chairman, you're trying to run a good meeting, and you really have set the rules in regards to how we want to conduct ourselves. But it goes haywire. Right now, you have a motion on the floor, and it strictly should be debate. You're taking questions. Now, I'm not a bit upset at what Shelley just did. But the point of it is, you're going to follow the rules, and you want to have a good meeting. You're in debate. So the next person needs to come up here and say, this is why I think you should vote for it, or this is why I think you should vote against it. Not go and relive and ask the questions, did you vote twice, did you not vote twice? I'm just trying to help you.
Yes, sir. Point's well taken. Thank you.
Stick. You're in debate, then vote.
right, let's, do we have,
I would
Hold on,
suggest that the chairman run the meeting, that I see the member not call the microphone at the expense of other members.
all right, next, okay, if you want to speak, I would ask that you come up here and stand in line to speak either for or against. Okay, so we've had, last one was against, or I'm sorry, for. Actually, it was against. It was against, okay. So, do we have anyone else that would like to speak for? Or in favor of the motion?
Wendy Stearman, State Committeeman. I believe that the motion was about the financial payment, right? Not about anything that has happened up to this point. Am I correct, or did I miss a motion somewhere?
That is correct.
Okay. So I believe it is standard operating procedure, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, that, as others have pointed out, that members of a committee, of a board, if they are sued in their job, they are protected. Were the members, what I would like to know is, were the members of this body, did they have the opportunity to approve the necessity of the legal expenditure caused by the vice chairman of this body? So I would not expect, and that's not a question, I am in debate, but I would not expect if I were to sue Mr. Sears in this body, that this body would pay for my legal fees. However, if I sued him as the vice chairman of his precinct, then I would expect him as a member of that precinct to be defended by his position, the people who put him in that position. So I think that is just standard operating procedure. I do not think there is a conflict here. I think it is unnecessary to debate how we got here. I believe the motion is just about the expenditure, and should it be approved or should it not be approved? That seems fairly simple. Thank you.
That is a point well taken. I do think we need to keep the debate germane to the actual motion. So, are there any anyone that would like to debate against the motion? All right, Mrs. Burnett. Given that you presented the motion, do you have the final word?
I have no closing comments, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we will go to a vote on the motion. And the motion is, can I see the motion again, please?
Sorry. Motion to ratify the chairman's use of funds to.
All right. And I'm not going to require that those members that were sued recuse themselves from this vote. I don't think that's fair to them either. So the motion is, the vote is on the motion to ratify the chairman's use of funds to defend the 20 members who were sued. The motion has been made, it's been seconded. All in favor of the motion?
Roll call vote.
You're requesting a roll call vote? Okay.
Verbal ayes and noes.
One moment while I look up a roll call vote.
It's called each name.
Roll call requires 2/3.
Yeah, it does. Requires a 2/3 vote.
Okay, that is correct. It does require a 2/3 vote. So let's take a vote to have a roll call vote. All in favor of a roll call vote, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no.
No.
Okay, the noes have it. The motion is lost.
Division.
All right, let's do division. Let's play this game. Okay, those in favor of a roll call vote, please stand.
Count up.
Okay. Can we get a counter, please?
I'll do it. One,
Someone who's not.
2, 3. No, I know how to count.
All right, hold on. Hey, let's call it, hey, let's have order. Mr. Ford, you're welcome to stand up and,
Former representatives know how to count better than how much along. We got it.
hey, I want to
Mr. Chairman,
hold
I'll
on,
be
let's
happy to
maintain
count.
order. The vice chairman will stand up, we'll count. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in favor of the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Five
All right.
in favor of.
5 in favor of the motion.
How'd you get 5?
Okay, please restand if you are in favor of the roll call. 8. Okay, we have 8. Okay. All in favor or all against a roll call vote, please stand.
Sorry, can you tell me?
25.
So the motion to have a roll call vote is lost. We will now move to a vote to, where are we, got lost?
On the original motion.
We'll vote on the original motion. Okay, so the original motion was to, do I can read it again, or do we know? Okay, I'm gonna read it again for you.
Sorry.
Okay. The vote is on the motion to ratify the chairman's use of funds to defend the 20 members who were sued. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no.
No.
All right, the ayes have it. The motion is passed. All right. You have a point of
Point of
information?
inquiry, Rick Fritz, precinct 74, are we able to move on with? We're able to move on?
Yes, I do think we are
I
at
have
the point where
a,
we need to move on from.
I have a question for the treasurer, the
Okay.
treasurer's report.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Treasurer, would you please give us information on how donations are able to be made to the WCGOP, or prior to your taking over, how donations were able to be made to the WCGOP?
There were direct checks to our account. There was a Venmo account. There was cash donations.
Mr. Treasurer, when the information was passed over to you from the prior treasurer, did you have information on the Venmo account and the details surrounding it?
I requested that information, and the only information I got about the Venmo account was a spreadsheet that was allegedly printed off from Venmo. That was handed over to me in the transition meeting, but that's the only financial information I wasn't directly provided, or at least it wasn't provided in.
Mr. Treasurer, is that Venmo account still active and available to be used?
No, it was discontinued.
Mr. Treasurer, can you tell me from the details that you were provided where the donations from that Venmo account landed, bank account wise?
It was moved into our Arvest account, the donations went.
The Venmo account that was set up prior, where did the donations, online donations to that Venmo account land before you took over, before that account was closed?
It was a Venmo account so this was part of the, I guess, the contest, or the foot dragging, I guess, as far as information out of it, was because it appeared to be set up probably for convenience, just through the previous treasurer's other activities and things he has with Venmo, right? So it's set up just for convenience. But he didn't want to provide me that information because presumably it was.
What I'm asking
something
is, did
other
that
than just
Venmo account, did the deposits, did the intake from that online Venmo account go into a WCGOP account or an account that the prior treasurer had in place?
It went into the Arvest account. Any donations that
Who owned that account?
the WCGOP.
Okay, so it didn't go into the prior treasurer's business account.
No, the Venmo, the Venmo account that got shut down, it appeared from my perspective to have been like a side account set up for convenience to take donations for WCGOP. But because it was set up out of convenience alongside maybe other activity or other things he was using Venmo for, he didn't want to provide me access to that account. So, I mean, that's how I took it.
Okay, thank you.
Ben Rovenstein, Precinct 23, point of inquiry, probably did that backwards.
Just for mayor and treasurer.
Maybe both.
Okay.
We haven't done a budget for this leadership yet, and I'm not up here hammering you guys, but it sounds like we did a budget for the last leadership, didn't allocate enough money for the county convention, which we were kind of indicating. I'm not trying to go back and litigate that, but I feel like we keep looking backwards and taking shots, and we've recently approved over $3,000 for legal fees, amongst $200 for a parliamentarian, $250 outstanding check, and we haven't approved a budget. Not hammering you, but I don't think that's on tonight's agenda. So I kind of feel like we're looking back, hammering people who have been here. We haven't done possibly something moving forward. I'm just maybe throwing that out as
No, your point is well taken. The only reason I again brought up my concerns was because my concerns were tabled on the meeting on April 10th. And I was just doing what we
Valid.
tabled. I was addressing the concerns I had on April 10th that were tabled.
valid. And then, I don't know, going back to the attorney, can I do that? Follow-ups, whatever? Did the attorney I'm just asking, like, so hey, we're scrambling, did everyone agree to hire that attorney to represent them individually?
Yeah, yes, we did.
So everyone who's in the law said, hey, we want whoever you hire?
Yeah, yes, we did.
Okay, because again, transparent, county committee, we didn't get it, I wasn't involved in that. resolutions that we sent back to the state about their letter asking us to sign the resolution. I never got the letter from the county prior to asking me to sign a resolution, which I didn't know reference to the letter. So
I do believe it was sent out to all the members of the county committee, the letter. I believe it was, I could be wrong, but
I don't think it was. The letter from the state that I asked,
Yeah, the resolutions that.
the resolutions were sent out, but I don't think the
The
letter from the
resolutions-
state was sent out, circulated to everybody who was supposed to sign the resolution. So I'm just, again, not hammering you, but we're maybe moving forward. I don't know, maybe we're gonna keep looking back, but we seem to be looking backwards at what has happened, and I don't know if we're doing,
No one
We're-
wants a budget about how much the future convention will cost more than I do.
well, and I could argue too that the parliamentarian that we paid $200 wasn't worth it, even though I know at the time she knew more than, I think you're doing a good job tonight. But I'm just saying, so there's kind of, you can go back and forth on, well, we should only pay her $50. I understand what you're saying, it was too much money for you, I get it, but again, that's kind of going, let's truck ahead. So, that's, I don't even know if that was even legitimate.
I agree, I would like to move forward. There were a couple things that, and I did not tell Josh, it's not the way that I operate, I don't tell people what to do. So Josh gave the report that he felt was best, I trust Josh, and that's why he did it. But I would like to move forward. Do you have, let's have one more?
I do,
Let's
and
move forward, business.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be just upfront with you in regards to, I don't know if you want this motion during the treasurer's report, or you might want it under new business. I will give you the option on that, and you tell me. Don't know if I don't even know if I'll get a second one, but I'd like to move or make a motion, not to send the motion, but I'd like to just need to know where you want it, that we pay Julie Mercy's legal fees from our funds in regards to this lawsuit that was involved in both, in our party. So you want that under the treasurer's report, or you want that under new business?
Let's move that to new business.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Do you have, okay, and then let's move on after you're done.
John Carey, 7-7. I agree with the last gentleman. I don't know what we're doing in the next 30, 60 days, but you need some money to do it. And this team needs to approve it. Do you have any activities that we're going to need money before our next meeting so we don't get into this mess again? And that would require, maybe the next meeting we have a budget, but between now and the budget, what do you want to do, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah,
And then let's do it.
Address?
Actually, since you mentioned activities, and this is something I did want to mention and I forgot, I would like to commend all members who put on the cookout. That cost the county committee absolutely nothing. So that's going to good. Not a single dollar from our money.
Thank you. And we did have about 150 people show up for that, and we were able to raise a little bit of money. We do have, I think I mentioned in my address earlier, that we do have plans on having a community event in September or October, which we hope to raise additional funds. We also have set up ways for making donations online. So, and you're welcome to open your pocketbook if you like and make a donation as well. So, okay, let's move on to the next item here.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Ken Collins, Precinct 51. I don't think we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report, and I would like to do so at this time.
Let me check real quick because I don't know that it has to be accepted.
Since these are resolutions of how we would like to behave in the future, can we just say future? All
Okay. So is we have a motion, and do we have a second on the, amendment to the motion?
Sarah Burnett, precinct 15. I believe as the second, I could rescind my second of his motion, therefore pulling his off the table, allowing future onto the table.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so with the,
So I will rescind it
Okay.
as the second.
so the second has been rescinded. Would you like to rescind your motion, or amend? Restate it?
Yes, I would rescind the motion. I make a new amendment to the motion. Instead of listing 2025, it should say, for all future WC GOP county conventions.
Second.
Point of
All right.
inquiry. Is that a friendly amendment?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is that a friendly amendment?
A friendly amendment.
I need to know who the second was.
Who is the second?
And a second right here.
Bill?
There's Bill. Hey, was it friendly with this? It's a friendly.
I'm gonna say yes, it's a friendly
He needs
amendment.
to come.
I'm sorry? Okay. All right, so we will not go into debate. All right, so the amendment is, the vote is to amend the resolution or the motion on the resolution to, Mr. Clay, do you mind just coming up here real quick and just verifying? It's the one that reads, the county committee of the Washington County GOP will be the authority given in the OKGOP Rule 6 listed previously for the 2025 WCGOP County Convention. You want to just come up real quick?
Correct.
Thank you. All right, so the motion is, thank you. The vote will be to amend the motion, the original motion, to replace 2025 WCGOP County Convention to future WCGOP County Conventions. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, the ayes have it, the motion is passed, or the amendment to the motion is passed. All right, we are going to now have a vote on the original resolution or motion for the resolution directing future county conventions of the Washington County GOP.
You can invite me.
Is there any further or any debate on the original motion before we move to a vote? All right, seeing that there's no debate, we will go into a vote. All in favor of the motion, or the motion for the resolution directing future county conventions of the Washington County GOP as distributed in the email prior to this meeting, and the amendment changing 2025 to future county conventions, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no.
No.
All right, the motion is passed, the ayes have it.
We don't get to
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Let me just go back to my agenda to make sure. Following the agenda. Appreciate your patience. All right, so that was the only item of old business. We'll move on to new business. Is there any new business?
I have.
Okay. Members recognized?
Mr. Chairman, Earl Sears, Vice Chairman of Precinct 29. I'd like to make a motion that the Washington County Republican Party pay the legal fees of Julie Mercer in the trial that was just held just recently.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion.
Who's our second?
John Carey.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to, for the WCGOP to pay the legal fees of Vice Chairman Julie Mercy. We will open it up to debate. Mr. Sears, since you made the motion, do you want to speak in favor of?
Mr. Chairman, most of the, Earl Sears, Precinct, Vice Chairman, Precinct 29, most of the comments were made during the report on the budget, but I just simply say, since it was in-house, Republican to Republican, we passed to pay the legal fees of one entity that was in legal in court. I think it would be the right thing to do is to pay the other party that was in court as well. That's why I made the motion.
Thank you.
I would like to
Speaking
argue
against?
again. Michelle Griffith, precinct 32. Forgive me for my frustration at times. However,
I'll speak a little bit better into the microphone for your sake. My voice is pretty loud, but anyhow, I was wrong not to just willingly do that. Anyhow, the idea of a vice chair suing a county committee does not mean we should pay for her fees. Multiple times she decided to hire people. She decided to do other things. She took that action on her own without the county committee and chose to sue 19 of us. That was an action that she chose to take. And all of the people in here letting us know about how we're not going to be getting any of their money, why don't you pay for it?
All right, is there any further debate for the motion?
I just have a quick point of clarification. Joe Beffer, precinct 55. Who did the law firm represent, the party or the individuals? And I haven't seen the retainer agreement, we haven't seen any of that. And I think that would be germane to this debate if we could get that information.
Talk about it.
There are no questions in debate.
Is that the debate?
There have been questions in debate prior.
Is there any other